Hello, people, and we have some exciting news for you. First of all, Bitcoin might be replacing gold, and there are some numbers to back it. Although we're far from that right now, it's happening little by little. You see, ever since Bitcoin ETFs came onto the scene, gold ETFs have bled into Bitcoin ETFs. They've bled $2.4 billion so far in 2024, and it's only been a month as Bitcoin ETFs hit record volumes. That means that about a third of all the Bitcoin ETF value has come from people selling gold and buying digital gold. And that is exciting because let's not forget, gold's market cap is like $10 trillion or more. So if we can just steal 20% of that, Bitcoin would be twice as high as it is now, even if we have no other investment in Bitcoin, which is very, very unlikely. If it balances out 50-50, then it's many, many times higher than where we are now. That's why this is actually exciting. So like gold tracking exchange traded funds have lost billions in outflows in 2024, in contrast to ETF tracking the spot price of Bitcoin. So people are trading gold for digital gold. Right now, Eric Balachunas is saying, meanwhile, it's pretty bad scene right now in the gold ETFs category in our just published weekly flow rate. And if you look at the gold shares, very, very bad. If you look at iShares Gold, which is BlackRock's gold, it's basically negative $23 million. And SPDR gold shares, like negative 2394, or like over $2 billion in gold dumped. iShares obviously is BlackRock, and between iShares Gold Trust and iShares Gold Macro, they lost $600 million. And of course, some of that has come into Bitcoin. So some of the gold bugs has come into Bitcoin, and that's probably why Peter Schiff is so mad at Bitcoin, because it's taking money away from gold. Like BlackRock's gold ETFs have lost like $650 million, whereas BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF has gained over $3 billion. So there's obviously money coming outside of gold, but a good chunk of the money is coming from gold. So maybe digital gold is better than physical gold. So basically, one is replacing the other, and it might just be changing of the guard. So the gold bugs probably not too happy with this Bitcoin ETF. Not only is Bitcoin sucking up funds, but gold is hemorrhaging AUM at an alarming rate across many ETFs. Of course, I don't really think Bitcoin will completely replace gold, maybe only a portion of it. It's kind of like a rebalancing out of the assets, and it'll pull some new investors in. So it could just be some US equity FOMO or US FOMO right now. You can see the graph of Bitcoin versus gold. Pretty much one goes up, the other goes down. It is a competition for gold, and I think the younger generations would actually rather have digital gold. The WWE is debuting on blockchain. Hopefully it does not get smacked down. Which blockchain is it debuting on? It's this thing called Panini blockchain. Hopefully they do better than John Cena NFTs, because those did not do very, very good. So it's going to debut a series of 100 World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE. They're no longer WWF because the World Wildlife Fund eventually sued them a while ago, which I find hilarious. The set will include some of the most noteworthy WWE stars, including John Cena. I didn't even know he was still in the wrestling scene. I thought he retired. Stone Cold Steve Austin, Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, Damian Priest, Rhea Ripley, Lyra Valkyria, Undertaker, China, didn't China like die? Chelsea Green, and Keanu James. But you know what? They don't have The Rock. So The Rock cannot smell what they are actually cooking. Maybe The Rock doesn't really want to be part of the WWE anymore. I'm not really sure. In addition, collectors can participate in exciting collection challenges to win cards not available in packs and digital crafting events where collectors can turn common cards into numbered exclusive cards. Now, I don't think WWE/WWF is quite as popular as the Attitude Era when I was a kid, but there's still a decent amount of fans, and if there's fans to a league and they have digital trading cards, they could be worth something. Although, even back then, I don't remember collecting WWE cards was really ever a thing. It was like always baseball cards, basketball cards, or football cards. Not so much WWE cards. For me specifically, it was basketball cards. And that's why I still have a ton of Kobe Bryant rookie cards worth possibly thousands of dollars. Never got them graded though. Probably should. This isn't for WWE's first foray into collectibles, but I don't think the past NFTs have actually done all that well, because I don't think like WWE collecting stuff like WWE collecting cards, whether physical or digital, have ever really, really hit it off. So let's actually see what this actually does. Hopefully, it'll be a really big hit and not just get smacked down like the former times they've tried it. And this is another foray of sports into NFTs. Chainlink has another use case. They've been tapped by Telefonica to help with SIM swap attacks. A SIM swap attack is obviously just essentially like when someone swaps your phone number and they get control of your phone number via social engineering. They convince the tech support guy on the other side to somehow let them invade your phone. So this company called Telefonica are working with Chainlink to actually try to prevent this with an extra layer of security. And they say that integration with Chainlink ensures that devices' SIM cards will not undergo unauthorized changes. And of course, those of you in the United States have never heard of Telefonica, but it is Spain's largest telecom brand. It's going to be a strategic alliance between two parties that will enable the secure connection of smart contracts with other GSMA open highway APIs. The integration allows data verification from different sources using Chainlink, along with a framework of common network APIs designed to provide access to operator networks. A SIM swap attack is a type of identity theft where hackers take over victims' mobile phone number, gaining access to information like crypto accounts, credit cards, or bank accounts. It is a prevalent and efficient hacking technique that even big organizations like the US SEC have fallen victim to. Didn't really know the SEC has gotten SIM swap before. Maybe, yeah, right. Oh, that's right. That's how like that fake Gary Gensler account tweeted out the Bitcoin ETFs have actually been accepted. But this is the first use case of blockchain to help, I guess, SIM swap attacks. Hopefully this works because this is becoming a bigger and bigger problem, especially in terms of crypto. So another good use case for Chainlink. Maybe Chainlink needs to go up some more because of this. There's a YouTuber called KSI that's facing pump and dump allegations. Obviously not the first one. Many YouTubers have faced pump and dump allegations, but KSI was kind of a dormant account. And both CoffeeZilla and Zacks XBT, which are like, I guess, blockchain researchers, have accused him that he kind of like opened his dormant Twitter account and he faces pump and dump allegations from investigators. So he revived his old account on Valentine's Day because I guess he loves scamming people for money. And he basically tweeted, he tweeted something about crypto, and a few hours later, Zacks XBT posted saying that the YouTuber would start sharing garbage again. Of course, like they're basically just warning people that this guy has scammed people before, or in their words, scammed people before, and could actually do it again. And he followed up by posting screenshots about his investment in the Watch to Earn XCAD product. Haven't heard that one for a while. And this was paired with another screen grab of KSI's crypto wallet, dumping 850,000 in XCAD tokens. So obviously, he pretended to be excited about this investment, and then he dumped a bunch of tokens hoping to get liquidity from his followers. This is something that's actually fairly often and has been done by other tubers. And of course, like Zacks XBT and CoffeeZilla, they both showed like where KSI posted something was bullish, and then he dumped tokens immediately for exit liquidity. And another time it was happened was ERN tokens, which is an NFT project. So basically, like the KSI basically has a big YouTube following. He's tried to explain it away by saying like he was actually excited about the project. But of course, I and the investigators don't really believe him all that much, because you can't really be saying like you're super excited about this project and then do the exact opposite by dumping all the tokens right away. And CoffeeZilla is right in saying that KSI publicly saying one thing and then privately doing the opposite is the definition of a pump and dump. That's exactly what a pump and dump is. You are pumping your followers up and then dumping your coins on them. So, and CoffeeZilla said, like, I don't really buy that he had no clue that tweeting one thing would positively affect the price in his favor. I'm pretty sure he meant to do that. Like, I don't know. Cases like this are probably too small for the SEC to really go after. But these kind of like pump and dumps are too easy to orchestrate. YouTube doesn't really put a cap on these things, honestly, because like people do it with stocks as well, because they can't really put a cap on it, and people can just say it was their opinion because they're not actually in charge of their customers' funds. But people should be aware of these tubers that specifically do this and stop listening to their calls. Of course, like this guy, of course, is close friends with Logan Paul, and Paul is involved in a class action lawsuit with CryptoZoo that I think he recently resolved. And the SEC itself could actually be in even more trouble than we thought on DebtBox. Because remember, the SEC tried to dismiss the case against DebtBox because, they were found to be providing fraudulent information, and the judge did threaten to sanction them. So they wanted to dismiss the case. Well, DebtBox is like, no, you don't get to dismiss this case. You have to admit to your fault and maybe get your lawyers sanctioned. So basically, secure software firm DebtBox is asking a Utah federal judge to deny the U.S. SEC's motion to dismiss a controversial enforcement action against it. They characterized the SEC's move as a strategic maneuver to evade possible sanctions and a permanent dismissal due to alleged misconduct. So that's exactly what it is. Remember, the SEC wanted to dismiss this without prejudice, and obviously, DebtBox wants to dismiss it with prejudice, so the SEC can't bring this up again. And the SEC knowingly providing fraudulent information to the judge is a very, very strong case for dismissing it with prejudice. And of course, the SEC submitted its dismissal case against DebtBox on January 30th after it couldn't really defend itself anymore and was made to admit that it provided wrong information to the judge. But DebtBox basically wants more. DebtBox argues that the SEC's readiness to dismiss the case without prejudice is a strategic move to evade sanctions and possibly initiate a revised version of their enforcement action. So what the SEC wants to do is they want to dismiss this one, fix a few things, and because it's dismissed without prejudice, they want to bring it up again. And the DebtBox is like, no, you don't get to do that. If you dismiss it, it needs to be completely dismissed. And they're quoting as saying the SEC wants to exit this action under its own terms while retaining the option to refile another enforcement action against DebtBox defendants and other defendants at some undetermined time in the future, and perhaps in a different form, as if nothing happened in this case, but something did happen in this case. So the SEC basically wants the courts and the judge to completely forget about this case so it can bring up another version of this case without the mistakes later. And DebtBox is having none of it, and I don't think the courts should have any of it either. So hopefully they get sanctioned and they can stop annoying and harassing crypto. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.